America, this movie plays very differently. The number one thing that they think is funny, this is not a joke or an exaggeration, is the way I say sorry. Our whole culture is like a sci-fi premise to them. They're laughing hysterically when I'm like saying hello to people. Like the way that we all behave normally, to them is like the funniest shit they've ever seen in their life. The way we like shake hands or introduce people to Toronto, they're like, oh my God. I'm sure those got no laughs here at all. You guys should sit down because this is, You know what? I tried to get here as soon as I could. I'm sorry. This is my good friend, Ben. You know, the whole reason I started making movies is because when I was a kid, Ben had made a film for, what was it for?
Which one?
The one where you guys were like, you jumped out of the back of a van, you kidnapped somebody. Do you remember? It was like it was a very funny video.
I do, yeah. I mean, we made videos this summer.
No. This is something you made with your friends and you screamed Johnsonville Brats in it. What was the context of that film?
It was like a high school, I made it in grade 11, something like that.
And we went to Christian camp together, and when I saw that video that like a peer of mine had made, it blew my mind. And I was like, I didn't know you could do that. I know that sounds so stupid in today's day and age, but this was a long time ago, and it's very funny you're here. I haven't seen Ben in a long time. We went to camp together in the 90s. Wow. I'm serious, yeah. You should see this video. And I'm sure in many ways, because I'll hear from film students, oh, I want to make something like Nirvana the band. Literally, seeing this video that he made in, I guess, a school project is what that was for me. Where I was like, I want to do whatever that is. Oh, it's really, yeah, thank you, Ben. What an odd coincidence that you would be right here. Anyway, yeah. I found that quite moving. We went to a camp called Ontario Pioneer Camp that was just getting like video, like there was a group of young guys there who like really got into non-linear editing, and this was in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was the first time I saw people, they were older than me, they were basically gods, because like if you've ever been to summer camp, the people who are your counselors, you look at them as though they're the greatest people in the world, and I would see them making these videos, and I wanted to do that so badly. So when I came home, I don't know how I got it. I think I got a cracked version of Adobe Premiere, and I started teaching myself how to edit. And that was truly the beginning of my film career. Before that, like I would shoot videos on like VHS, but I didn't really understand like how movies were made, and it was editing, literally, seeing these older camp counselors do it, specifically a guy named Tim Masson, where I would watch him do this, and it blew my mind. Like, the sequence in this movie you just watched that takes place in 2008, where it's just cutting between us as adults and us as kids, that was exactly the kind of stuff in a different, much more nascent form that I was seeing happening at this camp. Like silly little camera tricks where when you're 13 years old, you watch it and it really feels like magic. You're like, I can't believe it. And I think that feeling that I had as a kid, I've just been trying to recapture constantly. And all my work is trying to create that same feeling of like the way a prepubescent kid sees something and believes that magic is real, even though anybody in the know would look at the same person and laugh at them and think they're naive and be like, oh, you're so stupid to care about that. Do you know what I mean by that? Like there's this strange property where if you know a lot, you can be cynical about it, but if you don't, you truly believe that it's magic. And I think that the characters in this movie and the reason I make movies is to try to capture that feeling of, like, I know we look stupid, but maybe this changes the whole world for us. And they're both true at the same time. Anyway, I'll answer any questions that you have. Yes?
How many permits do you actually have?
I'll tell you the truth, nothing in this film was permitted. Everything we did is like, it was all within basically a kilometer of where we are right now. The whole movie was shot, and because there's so few of us, we would just go out and do it. And there isn't a single thing that you're looking at that, you know, we would call the city and be like, hey, okay, we need to get outside of Drake's house to film this thing. Like, you would never, the permitting process moves too slow for us to have done any of these things. It would have been impossible. The CN Tower is the perfect example of that. Like, how could we ever have asked them to do that? Although, I'll tell you something. In the end, I think it wound up very good for them, because the number one thing I would hear in the States is, oh, I really got to go up that CN Tower. Like, that looks really great, and I think that ultimately they're going to get a lot of people coming from the United States wanting maybe not to recreate that experience, but to at least see what it's like. And I would say in general, I was so blown away by the fact that young people, when I was in film school, and I suppose this is common in any artistic, or even I would say anywhere. As Canadians, I think that we're always trying to find ways, subconsciously or not, to at least imagine, oh, maybe I'll move to America. Maybe I'll move to America and make it. Maybe I'll become so successful at whatever it is that I do, whatever job that you have, where it's like, I'll move to New York and I'll be a somebody. And the first time in my life, being in the United States, young people would ask me questions and talk to me and let me know that they wanted to be you. They wanted to be you in Toronto. They wanted to be here. Like, they wanted to be in this city because they thought that this is where something was happening that they couldn't explain. And I'd never seen that before. Maybe a little bit during the Ford years, when we had it so good. Do you remember that? When Bautista flipped the bat, we were planning, in an original version of this, we were planning to take a quick stop at the real heyday, the Toronto heyday of the Bautista bat flip and Ford and everything, just for a second, but it was impossible. The Toronto-centric jokes in this already were way too over the top. But the people got them. Like, I think the only thing that universally not understood, but even then still got a laugh, was that close-up of Gian Gomeshi outside of that was just what's that building? The Bell Media building now? Whatever Much Music used to be. And I will tell you, in terms of the top 5 things that we did where we got in trouble, that was like number 2. Like, within minutes, they're out taking everything down, being like, calling the police. Whoever was in charge of that building was, well, furious that we've done this. And I mean, we were doing everything else in the movie, we basically never got caught ever. Although on this movie, the entire team did get arrested, and it was the only time that's ever happened, and it was really, really bad. And it led to like us changing what we shot. But sorry, that was a long answer to that question. Yes, you right there.
You're hilarious. Your humor is super off the top. And I just wanted to know how much the script was like you guys riffing on set, and how much was pre-written.
We don't write anything. So the only thing that we knew, I'll give you an example of how this movie gets made, and it's a story I've been telling that I think clarifies the whole process. So that Drake mansion shooting, all right? We were just out driving around, my friends and I, and we heard on the radio that there'd been this shooting, that Kendrick Lamar got our guy. And so we were like, well, let's just go and see what it's like. So we drove, me, Jared, Matt Grayson, and Jay, to Drake's mansion. And there was a huge scrum with every reporter in Toronto, all just filming it. CP24, all the heroes were there. Courtney Heels was on the scene, and we saw it and we're like, oh, this is crazy. And then we looked at Jay and realized, oh, he's wearing his outfit like he looks like he could be in character. We said, Jay, just like run away, pretend you did something bad. And so we filmed him running away. And then we were like, oh, so what did he run away from? Maybe he shot somebody. And so then we shot the scene where he shoots Luke Lalonde from the Born Ruffians in the head. And then we were like, okay, but why did he shoot him? Oh, we'll have to shoot a scene at the beginning where I like take a gun off the wall and pretend that like he likes guns. Which is ludicrous, but somehow it all worked. And so that's more or less how we made the whole movie. We would get lucky, and then work backwards from that getting lucky. You came beside me to say that you have to clean this theater, right? Is that why you're here? To say shut this down? I'm not trying to embarrass you. We should wrap this up? Oh, so you're standing beside me, so I'll give you this when I am done? Do we need to leave now? Hell yeah. That's lucky. What's your name? This is Provo. And thank you so much. I got to tell you another thing that's crazy. This movie opened all across North America. This movie theater is far and away like the #1 screening of this place anywhere in the world. More people are coming to see this movie at this theater than anywhere else. And this like huge American multiplexes, and it blew my mind. That's why I came. I literally came here right from the airport. Okay, yeah, you way at the back.
When you guys are interacting with yourselves in the past, like when Jay sits up in bed or you see each other and say, does that guy look like me? Was that all just stock footage from the web series you hadn't used, or did you have to get creative with like new audio stitched together with old footage?
No, that was just Kurt and Bobby, the editors, being extremely smart, taking all the footage we shot as kids and paring it down to like these little few seconds at a time. And that entire sequence, like we did, there's no VFX, there aren't even any tricks. It's just the way that Jared is shooting it and the way that Kurt and Bobby are editing it. It seems like, well, it seems surreal. Even when I watch it, I'm like, how is this even happening? But that's all it is. It was just us, again, shooting so much footage that they were able to write a story based around what they saw.
Question here.
Yes.
Two questions actually. Did you actually climb up the CN Tower? You said you tore it down.
Uh-huh.
Second question is some of the scenery in the Queen West neighborhood, in the old the 2008 scenes, I recognize like the Chateau store.
Yeah.
I don't think it exists there anymore. It hasn't existed for a long time. What's that? Yeah. So did you guys like how did you recreate the old buildings? Did you rebuild?
I'll repeat these questions and in case you guys couldn't hear. The first one was, did we actually go up the CN Tower? Yes and no. Like that, we really are up there right before we jump off. Later, when it's like I climb up the whole thing and I'm at the very top of it, no. There's no, we tried so hard to do that for real, but it was just impossible. They wouldn't even let us put a drone up there, but we figured out how to get a drone up there. We found out something very tricky to do, to get a drone to the top of the CN Tower. And your other question of like, how did we recreate Queen Street in 2008? That is just footage we shot in 2008. So it's not like we had to recreate anything. Now that said, I want to give credit to Carrie Noonan, who was our production designer, who along with Malcolm went in and like put up all those American Apparel ads and all of those like Nash the Slap. Who's the guy who runs the movie theater who's crazy?
Reg Hart.
Reg Hart, all the Reg Hart posters, like there were just things that, because I mean I grew up here, so I knew all of these things, and so we wanted to recreate as many of them as we possibly could, which we did, but for the most part, you're just watching footage that was shot there at the time. And the secret is, that isn't even 2008. It's actually 2006. And the reason we call it 2008 is because in Toronto, there was a single sneak preview of The Hangover in 2008, and we wanted to use that so badly that we just pretended the whole thing took place in 2008, because we couldn't think of a better way to do that joke. So, yeah. Yes, right there.
Are you willing to tell us what the really bad thing that you guys got in trouble for was?
You know what? I shouldn't. It's so bad. And we didn't mean to get in trouble, but we just kept doing the same thing over and over again, and we were in a very important Toronto place, and they got us. They dragged everybody into the basement. They're like, you're all under arrest. Jay was dressed as a mascot. It was, I'm telling you, it was really bad. It was like, everyone got separated. I escaped. But anyway, I don't think we'll ever tell that story. Yes, right there.
For the unsung heroes of the...
Whoa, there was 3 people answering at the same time. Yeah, sure, you with the glasses, go ahead.
What would you say is like
Sorry.
just very wrong, but you're just showing it all over America? What is the construction process that is wrong that you were seeing that like kind of is across the board?
This is a great question. Like, what does the world see in Toronto that is working? all I can say, one, I'll never know, and neither will any of you. We just won't, because when we screen this movie in America, they look at our city as though it's a sci-fi premise. Like, they don't understand it. They think everything's funny. It doesn't matter what it is. They think like the people in the streetcar just sitting around are funny. They think that the way people walk down the street are funny. The way that we dress is funny. Like, I can't explain it. But for whatever reason, there's something about Toronto, or the way that this movie represents Toronto, maybe as a kind of like lawless, multicultural utopia. Like, I don't know what you would say that it is, but they all find it like unbelievable. And they're laughing at things that no one in here in their right mind would find funny. Like, it's just our lives, which is quite bizarre, I've got to say. Yes. This question was, there something in 2008 that we wanted to capture that we couldn't? Well, I wish that when we were kids, we knew we were going to make this movie. Because we would have shot all kinds of crazy shit. Like, we would have shot those weed marches that used to happen. We would have shot those parties that Much Music used to have on the street. We would have shot something with like it was just, there were like celebrities in Toronto at that time that we could have been passing. Like, you remember when Stephen Page got arrested for cocaine? Like, just things that are like, that were really important to the city, that united us all, that we all knew, that I wish we could have had. Because then it would have been really crazy. How did we get that? But it's just, it's that, it would have been impossible. We only had what we had, unfortunately. Yes?
So, our man,
The man, yes, the libertarian. So he asked the question if we checked up on the libertarian from Canadian Tire who tried to save our life. Not only did we check in with him, he came to the premiere at TIFF on stage and did the Q&A with us. And if you go to that Canadian Tire, he's not just some random guy, he's the manager. He runs the place. Like, that's his store. So I said, you can literally go meet this guy. You can go in and ask him all about it, and he's got the best attitude. And I'll tell you, we cut a lot of that out. He had a great philosophy behind why he was saying that he was a libertarian, but we couldn't do this. He was like, I believe in your right to do this, but if you do it, think of how the rights of other Torontonians will be affected. They will shut down the Edgewalk forever if you do this. He's a good guy. Yes, right there.
What's the status of the third season? I read that it got caught up when Vice went under. Was that?
Yeah, when Vice went out of business, like, we were in the middle of shooting the third season of this show, and in many ways, the reason we made this movie is because we wanted to release the third season. So we'll see. So far, the movie is doing great, mostly because of this movie theater. So as long as people keep coming, then season 3 will be released imminently. Neon, who bought the movie in the United States, also bought our TV show, and so they're going to do a full release of it at some point. But I mean, that's a bigger deal to the Americans who never got a lot of it released down there. But sometime soon, we hope. We hope. Yes, you sitting on the bow. Look at that. It's very dangerous.
Did you have to get it cleared from Back to the Future? Like, how did
We didn't get anything cleared. As I say in the film, this movie is a copyright nightmare. And it just so happens that the way American fair use law works, just by chance, I had wound up learning a lot about it because of the first movie I made. And so by the time Jay and I were being like, okay, what would a Nirvana the Band movie be? Like, we started with, well, what can we parody? Like, what kind of stuff can we do? So it seems illegal. The whole movie, I think, seems a lot more dangerous and out of control and against the rules than it really is. We're good Canadian boys. We're like all of you. Like, we're afraid. But we like to seem tough. And that is more or less what's happening constantly. Like, it seems very, very dangerous, but this is nothing. Yes, you right in the front. Good. this question was, what part of this never gets old? It's hard to, I would say that Jay's got a really great line about this. I think it's a idiom, so he's stolen from something else, but he says that filmmaking, especially like this, is like riding a bike. It doesn't get easier the more you do it, you just go faster. And that is exactly what this is like. The reason I think Nirvana the band is fun for all of us to do is because it renews itself the older we get. Like in the same way in the movie, Jay looks at his past self and is like, oh my God, I became a loser. Like, I can't believe I'm still doing this. This is so pathetic. And then at the end of the movie, sees that as instead exactly what he wants to do. He wishes he could go back to the life that he once hated. I think that happens with us making Nirvana the band all the time, which is that right now, there's nothing you could give me to make another Nirvana the band movie. I'd be like, I'm never doing this again. This was so hard for all of us. For Kurt and Bobby, they laugh when I say, so are you guys excited about putting together season 3? Like, it's so crazy hard. But after like making one other movie or 2 other projects, it becomes like the most addictive thing in the world. We all just want to do it again because it is that kind of thing that can do anything. We're so proud to be from here, and the fact that really for the first time ever in my life, I suppose BlackBerry kind of made Canada look good, but even then people still don't realize that took place in Canada. Like the idea that we all could be making something that to the rest of the world makes them go, oh, Canada exists is so gratifying. And so that's the part that doesn't get old, that we know that if we do our best work and we really, 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 really try hard, then people will, then maybe people will like it as much as we do. But the individual, like if you were to break it down to components, it's all hell. Every single piece of the process is awful. It's never fun. That's
Over
not
here.
a joke. Yes, this is the last question. This is it. I just said the exact opposite. I just said I will never ever do anything like this ever again. But that's not true. I think especially Jay and I talk about it all the time. And Jay would be here right now, but he's unavailable for a good reason. But he and I talk about all kinds of different movies in the Nirvana the band world that we would want to make. And even if we don't want to think about it, it just creeps up on us and we have no choice. So in the same way that those of you who watched this and liked it, we are the exact same. We watch these guys on screen and we're constantly thinking, oh man, I'm gonna cry. No, don't cry. Don't make me embarrassed. But we think too, oh wow, what are they gonna do next? Anyway, thank you, I gotta go.